Okay, hello everybody, Gabby Sama here. Today, we're going to be getting into my top 5 animes. So, pretty straightforward idea, right? I feel like maybe the list might be a little controversial, but that's okay. It's my opinion. It's what I enjoy watching. So, right off the bat, from what I've seen, not a very popular anime, but my top 5 anime is Gungrave. Gungrave, short little 26 episode anime on Hulu. How I stumbled upon Gungrave was I was watching the DMC 2007 anime on Hulu as well, and after each episode Gungrave would pop up in the list of animes, and I was like, this guy looks pretty cool. He's got 2 cool looking guns and a sick cowboy outfit. So I was like, okay, let me give this a try. So Gungrave starts off kind of weird. You see the main character, Brandon Heat / Beyond the Grave, fighting a bunch of demons, and you don't really understand at first, but then the second episode, it gets the backstory, and the backstory runs all the way from episode 2 to episode 17. And then episode 18 is the first episode over again. So you learn the story through the backstory. So the story follows Brandon Heat / Beyond the Grave and his best friend, Harry McDowell. Harry is a beast. Brandon is a beast. First, they start off as some lowly thugs trying to have their own little, spot in the world, I suppose, in the mafia world. But then shortly into the story, Brandon and Harry end up joining Millennium, the biggest mafia group, and through Harry being very cunning and very hardworking, and Brandon Heat being just an absolute tower and a beast, both of them end up climbing the ladder quite fast, and some things go south, and that's where the story really develops and hooks you in and makes you love it. So that's my number 5 right there. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with One Piece. Now this is where I say it's a little controversial. My reasons. First off, I'm not all the way through One Piece. I do enjoy One Piece. I find it very great. Story is very good. I'd say, and also I'm at Dressrosa right now. I'm at pretty much roughly around the start of Dressrosa. One Piece's story is very great. However, it doesn't exactly have the type of fights that I'm into when it comes to shonen anime, because that's a majority of what I watch is shonen anime. I mean, yeah, it's great. Story's great. Love Luffy, love Zoro, love all the Straw Hats. I mean, of course, Enies Lobby is great. Alabasta is great. I think Alabasta is probably my favorite arc. I do like Enies Lobby. Gear 2 is great. Gear 3 is funny. Not quite to Gear 4 yet, but I know of Gear 4, and obviously I know of Gear 5. They're very popular and they're very awesome. So, I mean, that pretty much just wraps up number 4. I do love One Piece to death, so One Piece lovers, please don't kick me in the butt for that. Number 3, Kuroko's Basketball. I know that's probably going to piss people off. How are you going to put a sports anime above One Piece? Just because Kuroko's Basketball is badass. My favorite character in One Piece, or not One Piece, sorry, Kuroko's Basketball, I'm going to have to say is Kagami. Obviously, Kagami's very sick. Super awesome. I mean, very hardworking, very talented. Is, the light to my boy Kuroko's shadow, which is pretty fire. Their dynamic is just great. Seirin is a great school for basketball, and to have only lost to Almine's school is pretty crazy. So, just their singular loss and one draw to Midorima's school, they have a pretty solid record on their hands. And to have defeated Murasaki Bara, Kisei, Almine the second time they play, and Akashi. I mean, great. I mean, the whole team's dynamic is just absolutely fire. I mean, I love Hyuga, I love Kiyoshi, and I freaking love Izuki. I don't know what it is about him. I just love him. It happens later on, but when Seirin goes against Kisei's school, and Kasumatsu goes right past Izuki, and he's like, haha, I'm gonna score on you. But Izuki's locks in with that eagle eye, and he hits Kasumatsu with the eagle spear. Eagle spear is super badass. Obviously, Kagami's zone is great. Kuroko's, just misdirection is fire, misdirection overflow, all that, great. Super awesome stuff. Number 2, I could talk about this all day and all night. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Where do I even get started? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You are everything to me. You were my favorite anime before my number 1 anime, which I have made a video on, which was my previous video, so number 1 is quite obvious. But number 2 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've watched every part of JoJo. I have not read part 7, 8, or what is out right now of part 9. But I love it. I would say my favorite part is part 5. I very much enjoy Giorno Giovanna. Well, actually no. I do, and these are very close, and they are quite interchangeable from day to day, but part 6 is my favorite. I just love the way part 6 is built. Obviously Jolene is framed, thrown into prison by her boyfriend Romeo. Come on, bro. Really? You crazy, man. That's Jolene. But yeah, so, and I love the cast. Hermes is great. Kiss is a super cool stand. Foo Fighters is pretty freaking awesome. And then Anasui. I like Anasui. Diver Down is pretty neat. And, he does come clutch with it a few times, especially when saving Jotaro in the final fight against Pucci and Made in Heaven. obviously it doesn't work out the second time it's needed. You know, he's like, he's gonna go for me first because he knows I'm gonna protect you. And then if you've watched part 6, you know. Anyhow, oh, and then Weather Report is great. And I honestly think Poochie is one of the best villains in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, he's just perfect. The way he's built up and the way he evolves. Obviously, we know he's not physically strong. Like, he's not as physically strong as Jolene, or he's not as physically strong as Jotaro. But he's very smart. Obviously, he ends up outsmarting everybody. But then gets outsmarted himself by Emporio, which, thank you, Emporio, you did it for us, bro. I mean, I love part 6, I love part 5. Giorno's great. Bruno Bucciarati is amazing. I hate Abbacchio, though. Abbacchio, he pisses me off. Hate him. The whole time, he's just a hater. Like, get on somewhere, bro. Like, come on. Narancia, I love Narancia. I don't care how stupid he is. He's great. And he has one of the best moments in part 5. Right after Bruno and Giorno fight the boss the first time, and Fugo and Narancia are off to the side, and they're contemplating whether they want to go or not. But Narancia, being Narancia, is like, I don't know if I want to go unless you order me to go. And then they leave without him. And then Narancia realizes, oh, hey, crap, my video cut off there. So Narancia's like, oh, Trish is just like me, you know, and she's been betrayed too. I was betrayed by my father and the people that were around me. And in that moment, he realizes. And, you know, Bruno's like, Giorno, can you put Trish in the turtle? And he's like, yes. But he's more towards the back of the boat, and he says, Bruno, can you please stop the boat? And it's just that beautiful scene. I don't watch dub anime, so I don't know what it sounds like in dub, but the way Narancia expresses himself and is just swimming towards the boat, oh my god, I mean, it literally gives me chills every time I think about it. The soundtrack in the background, Un Sogno by fucking Yugo Kanno, I mean, great. Absolutely fantastic. And then we got my number 1. From last video, you already know this was once, Bleach. Bleach is amazing. The story of Bleach, great. Fights, great. Characters, great. Everything about it is great. And I didn't really get into it like in my last video. I just told the story of how I got into it. But the reason why I love Bleach is its fights. Like, I mean, the fights are just amazing. I mean, does Ichigo have plot armor? Yes. Yes, he does. Do I love it every time? Yes, absolutely. I don't care. It's sick. I mean, when you're on the brink of death and you have a hole blasted in you by the number 4 Espada, and then your girlfriend, I mean, not girlfriend at the time, but I mean, if you know Bleach by the end of the story, I mean, you know, that's his wife right there. Come on. You got her basically saying, get up, I need help. Ishida's lame self can't handle Ukiura. I mean, you know, Thousand Year Blood War, Ishida could probably handle Ukiura, but unfortunately, Arrancar arc, Huega Mundo arc, Ishida does not even get close. So, and then, yeah, I mean, we all know the story. Vasta Lord Ichigo. Awesome. Amazing. I mean, it's everything I want. Like I said with One Piece, it doesn't really have the type of fights I want. It's because I am literally, my eyes are blessed every time I watch an Ichigo fight. It's just amazing. And it's not like Ichigo's the only one with good fights. Like, I was just bashing on Ishida. Ishida has good fights. I mean, Renji gets dogged the entire series, but yeah, I mean, his one fight against freaking Demasculine, low-key pretty much just saves him. I mean, let's be real. And then in the 1,000 Year Blood War anime, when he fights Ishida, 1,000 Year Blood War Ishida, that's a good fight. Yeah, I mean, it's just great. We need some justice for Chad, though. If you Bleach fans know, I mean, we're about to get, 50 to 60% original content for the core 4 of 1,000 Year Blood War. So, dude, maybe they'll throw some Chad love in there. Maybe they'll just pick a random Quincy, and then just be like, yeah, Chad, here, give yourself a little power up, You needed some love. You needed some love because, yes, you got pretty much, you would have died to D-Roy if Ichigo wasn't there to save you. You did beat Gentembine, Primera Espada, which, pretty good fight. But then you unfortunately hit the brick wall that is Noitora Gilga with his extremely dense Hierro. So, you weren't really going to be able to do much with that. But, yeah. That is my top 5 anime right there. So, if you guys like the top 5 or hate the top 5, let me know what you think. And that's about it. See you later, everybody.